everybody. I hate that open too. I always tell everybody, don't start with hi, everybody. And then I start with that because why would I be prepared? It's really because I'm comfortable with you. So everybody, I am with Demiree, who is literally the woman behind EmpowHer. Right? Is that how we say it? EmpowHer?
Yep. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for getting it right. So many
What do people say it as?
We get the EmpowHer, the EmpowHer conference, the EmpowHer summit. So yeah.
Tell everybody who you are. For people who don't know, what's your like elevator speech? What's the version that you tell people?
You know, I struggle with the 30-second because
I can't.
I'm like, how long do you have? It's like a scroll. But the shortened version is my name is Demiree, and I am the owner and founder of EmpowHer. It's Michigan's largest women empowerment conference here in Michigan, which makes sense because it's Michigan's largest. And then I also, Michigan's largest empowerment conference in Michigan. And then I also host a podcast called HBIC. So through both of those, I get to meet amazing people, tell their stories, and connect other women with other cool women.
We're like a week. So by the time this is being recorded right now, we're a week off of literally your 4th conference. Mm-hmm. Sold out. I think the hugest venue you've ever had.
Yeah.
And my first time going. I want to say that I utilized the time, but I didn't, because it really is to get to know other women.
Yeah.
And I latched onto the people I knew. Because number one, I'm like introverted extrovert, right? I'm introverted until I know you, and then I'm completely a different person. But I'm disappointed in myself because I truly feel like you worked so hard to create a beautiful event where people could get to know each other, and I didn't take advantage of that time. Does that make sense? I just clung to the people that I knew. I did meet, like, you can't not meet other people. There are some women that, like, you can't not meet them.
Yeah.
They are amazing, incredible. And I was just like, oh my God, my life has changed already just by meeting you. But there were so many more that I feel like I could have met my new best friend, and I didn't give myself that opportunity. Do you find that a lot of women, when they come to this event, don't utilize the time correctly to like really truly get to know other people and connect on a human level?
Yes and no. So first of all, don't be disappointed in yourself. I like to explain it as is like you just dipped your toe in. So next year you're like, I'm ready. I'm here. I've done it all. That's why I created this space. I feel like as women, we have a hard time walking into a room, especially full of other women, even though we have this mentality like, I don't care what anyone thinks of me. We care. Mm-hmm. We want to make sure people accept us or like us because we know what our heart is and we know what genuinely good people we are. And when people don't see that, we start to wonder, why aren't they seeing that in me? We start to doubt, does my hair look good? Do I look fat? We pull out our clothes. Am I sitting in the right way? Like right now, like am I angled right? Like, we overthink every single situation. So it is scary walking into a room full of people you don't know and go to a lot of conferences or situations that are like, this is for the girls. Like it's so much fun because I'm sure you and I have been to situations, because this is why I created it, where there were situations where it's like, this is for the girls, and you get there and you're like, no, this is not.
Right.
Like it's you can claim that this is very welcoming, but it's not. So there's always going to be those guards up. We're always going to cling to the people that are coming. I'm a raging extrovert, and even at like going to networking things, I still do cling to the people first that I do know, and it kind of warms me up to meet other people. And it's a huge space. Like you said, this was our largest location we were ever at. So it was very spread out. Like there was a lot to do, a lot to look at, which is cool and not cool. I was just telling Dean, I want a smaller, intimate thing so it's a little bit more approachable versus like so scary. So I don't think it's you. I think it's the venue that it was a little bit big, but women have this mentality all the time, and that's okay. So this was your first year. It just means you have to come back. And
I didn't do pajama party this year because I'm literally launching my own community, which we'll talk about because this is really why, like, the conversation I want to have with you. And so I was so tired, like Sunday night, and I had like a class that morning too that I taught. And so I was like, I don't want to go and be shitty. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I want to go and like
100%.
experience it in pajamas and like have fun.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be there the whole time like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like I have a headache and I don't do this. So I was like, all right, I'm going to protect my energy and the energy of the people around me and not go. But I feel like pajama party night, like the night before, is a huge way to really get to know people, and then you see them again the next day.
Yeah.
So I think anybody going like next year in 2026, are we doing it again?
We're right now, we're still coming down.
I'm not even thinking of that yet. Don't ask me that question. But I do think it's important to get the tickets for both days. Just get a VIP ticket both days and you're set. You're done.
Yeah, it's designed to have a more intimate experience. Like you're more vulnerable in your pajamas, even though a lot of girls are wearing like bougie pajamas, but it's just a fun, more cozy comfort where it's like there's pizza, there's girls. It's more like dancing and connecting. I make everyone break out and talk to everybody 10 times. We did like this fun interactive thing where I make them go up to somebody that they don't know and tell them something, and I give them the prompt. So it gives them almost like a permission slip to be like, you need to go up to this person, versus if I were like, everyone right now, you know, throughout this event, find someone. No one's going to do that. No. But if I'm like, everyone stop what you're doing right now, and you need to make everyone look around, make eye contact with somebody you don't know. And then they lock eyes. They have no idea what I'm about to make them do. I'm like, now you're going to walk up to them and you're going to tell them your celebrity crush. And it's like not so hard because like everyone knows who their celebrity crush is. And it breaks the ice, and each question gets deeper and deeper. So we go from like, what's your favorite color to what does empowerment and what is the meaning of life? You know, we're not going to kick it off right there. So it's like, I explain it as the bachelorette party, where you go for your friend and all of her work friends are there. You don't know everybody. But by the end of the trip, you're like, I can't imagine my life without you girls. Like, I mean everything to me. You're going to be my bridesmaids too.
We're going to have brunch every Sunday.
Yeah, and then come the wedding, you're like, remember when we were doing body shots in Cabo? Like, that's the vibe. So it's designed to break the ice and kind of introduce you to people. And we want to do even above and beyond more things like little circles, and it can scare a lot of people that are introverts. So I've had people who were like, I purposely did not buy the VIP ticket because I know you said this wasn't intentional, and that scares the shit out of me. And that's okay too.
But I think that we, and like myself included, because we've had this conversation, like I need to start doing scarier things. How am I going to get out of this level of intention, motivation, and manifestation if I'm not allowing myself to just be open to the experience? I'm preconceiving what's going to happen, which as a producer, that's my whole life, is I plan everything. So in my head, it's like, well, it could go this. You don't know how it's going to go. And that's the most magical thing, is the times I'm open the most, where it's like whatever happens is meant to happen, I find the most incredible people. Yeah. Does that make sense? So like when you said find somebody and lock eyes with them, immediately my brain's like, well, what if I lock eyes with the wrong person and now I'm stuck in this whole... What if it's the right person? Exactly. What if it's your new best friend? Like you don't know. And we have to start getting comfortable with being uncomfortable and putting ourselves in those situations. And that's what I'm working on with myself. And I feel like, again, disappointed that I could have used this time for a beautiful event that you worked so hard on, and I didn't. And so lesson learned. Exactly. And it's something that I know I have to work towards. And that's all it is lessons learned. And the more you do it, the more you realize like, okay, that wasn't so scary. But there are going to be situations where you put yourself out there and it doesn't turn out great. And then you're like, this is why I don't do this. Right. This is scary. Exactly. Like I'm going to put the walls up. So it's like, there's pros and cons to it. There's going to be the events that are for you, that do those things for you. And then there's going to be the ones that don't. But living in this like never ending circle and loop of this like Groundhog Day life, it doesn't change unless you change, right? Like nothing changes if nothing changes. You have to take some sort of action. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm dying because you guys, when Rachel talked to me the first time that I got to talk to her, we sat on the couch over here in the pre-function area. And I was like, you know, a lot of people don't come. She goes, I'll tell you right now why I don't come to EmpowHer. Because I don't want to grab someone's hand and look deeply into their eyes. Literally. But when you explain. So I only knew the event from your post. Right. Like post-event content. Yeah. And so there's a part where there's two women staring in each other's eyes. Yep. Until you told me why you did that. Yes. And then you didn't do it this year. And I was so mad because I so emotionally prepped to stare at a stranger in the eyes. Explain why you do that exercise. Because when you explained it to me, I was like, oh, that could have probably changed my life in that moment. Yeah. So we try to have people get vulnerable with each other, because I think that we think that our problems are the only problems that matter. Yeah, we're a lonely island. We're the only people that have flaws. We're the only people that have a horrible life. We're the only people going through some shit. And we did this exercise 2 years ago now, where I had the girls write down 3 negative things that they think about themselves. So for example, I think I have a disgusting mom bod. I don't think I'm a successful business owner, and I don't think I deserve success. Or like, it can be even worse. There were some really ugly ones that were out there.
And I'm like, everyone was comfortable with writing them down themselves. And then I asked them to write 3 nice things about themselves. It took triple the amount of time of length for them to write 3 things, which we time it. We have everyone stand up when they're done. It took triple the length of time for them to write 3 nice things about themselves. And it did 3 mean things to say to themselves. We had them stand up. We had them find somebody that they didn't know and hold their hands and say the 3 nice things to them. And that felt great because they're like, you're a good mom. You know, you are amazing at what you do or whatever it looked like. And then I said, now you're going to say the 3 mean things as if you're saying it to that person. And people were crying because you would never say those things to other people. I would never look at somebody else and be like, I can't stand to look at your body in a bathing suit. I'd be like, I'm revolted. I would never say that to somebody. But we are so comfortable saying it to ourselves. So it's this thought process that everybody in the room, number 1, took way longer writing nice things about themselves. And 2, that everyone, the things that we heard other people think about themselves, like I'm looking at people that are absolutely gorgeous. And I'm like, they're so successful. They're beautiful. They don't have an ounce of cellulite in their body. Like they have tons of money. And they come out with like the most awful things that they think about themselves. And that is like heartbreaking. So we had them do that really quickly of holding hands and saying it to them. And it was an uncomfortable situation, but I think it definitely broke a lot of the tension in the room of everyone thinking that they're the worst human being in the room and that everyone else has their life together. And that's not the case because we're all figuring it out. We're all train wrecks. We're all bad moms at some days. Like, you know, there's all the things that we're all doing. And so that's what we did. And then we also had another activity where one of our keynote speakers, which was a duo, said to like talk about themselves and lightly. And it ended up talking like if you feel implied to, you can hug the person across from you. And almost everybody did it. So it wasn't something that we forced them to do. It was just a real raw experience and them showing their emotions. And so I had explained that to Rachel. I'm like, I want you to know we will not be doing that this year.
But like, I was almost like, but like, I was so prepared for it. She's so
like,
funny.
She's like, and this is going to be the hug scene.
I didn't. No, I'm not even kidding. At one point when you got on stage, I was like, okay, do I run to the bathroom? And I was like, but it's such a long run that like everyone will see it. And I was like, no, I'm gonna like be in the moment. Like be in the moment. Like that's the most beautiful thing of like you've created these moments. Like we have to meet you on that level. And I've said that to people in business, like where like if you're down here and I'm here, like you have to come up here. I'm not coming down here. Right. And I love that about you because you're just like, that's great. You don't have to do it, but I'm still gonna stay up here. And if everybody wants to do it, great. That's amazing. Yeah. So it's so funny because I like emotionally prepared myself to do it, that we didn't do it. And I was like so disappointed. I was like, damn it, I wanted to stare into a screen.
I was prepared for this for months.
So it's like, but again, it's preconceived notions, it's perceptions of things, and then like just getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. Yeah. Because it's in those moments that like we magically start to grow and learn and can come through it differently. Yeah. The greatest thing that I see for you and what you've built is you have super fans. Anybody creating a community, our goal is to have super fans. It's not the goal in your brain. It's not the subconscious goal. It's a marketing ploy, right? You can't launch to nobody, which you know, because you started with your boutique, right? Was it in Port Huron? Okay, my husband's from Port Huron, so you probably know him in some way. His number has been on the bathroom walls of the girls' bathrooms, and Jamie knows this too because we did a whole bit about it, and it's totally real. Somebody called him and was like, "Do you know your number's on the bathroom wall in Port Huron?" Well, now I have to go back to. I can't remember what bar. I'll ask him which bar. I can. We literally had to pay a friend to go and like take the number off the wall. I kept getting phone calls. It was a great radio bit, but it wasn't a bit. It was real. So you had a boutique. So you started doing little tiny events with the boutique. So you already started to create a community. Because I don't want people to think like, I want to do what Demiree is doing and it's going to be magical the first time I ever do this. It's not. Yeah. It takes time to grow a community, to pitch to, to launch to. Yeah. And so when you had the boutique and you're creating these little events, do you think that EmpowHer started to get built out of that, or just the notion of like, oh wait, I can do this on a bigger scale?
No, 100% was built into it. So I had my boutique, long story short, I was there for 5 years, and I wanted something that wasn't just like, everyone's like, I wanted something different than just a boutique. I want to be something more than a salon. I want to be more than, you know what I mean? Like we always want to be more than what we are. And I was finding that I was enjoying people coming into my boutique and not even buying anything and being like, okay, so you bought the outfit. We went to the wedding where the ex-boyfriend was. What was his thoughts? Did his jaw drop when he watched? Like I was more concerned with that and the relationships. And I found more people were coming into my store to have like therapy sessions, which I loved. I was like, this is amazing. And then when I made the decision to close my storefront and not have a space to have like physical pop-ups, I'm like, well, shit, what do I do now? Because I don't like asking people for things. I don't want to spend money on something. So I'm like, whatever, I'm going to have this Women's Day out that I do every year at my store that everyone looks forward to. And I'm just going to do it at this like ballroom. And I rented it out. And this was our first year of EmpowHer, which didn't even have a name.
Right.
But people were like, are there speakers? Are there food? And I was like,
oh,
sure is.
So let me get right on it.
Yep. I actually have so much ready for this.
It's also planned out.
And I threw it together in about 2 months. And
Damn.
yeah, it was a very thrown together event. And people were like, when's the next one? And I'm like, I could do this so much bigger. Better give me a year. And I'm going to blow this out of the water. And then we doubled. And now this is our 4th year at Huntington. But definitely came from making the relationships and the community within my boutique. I don't think there was ever something that's like, I can't wait to get rid of this boutique and I'm going to start this thing. It was just kind of fell in my lap.
Right. A natural progression.
Yeah.
Well, and that's a testament to you. And I know you keep saying you don't want EmpowHer to be about you, but it is. You are the brand. People come because of you. And I think that, is that a role that you're uncomfortable with? Because even you didn't even do a keynote speech this year.
Yeah.
And I was like, but you have super fans. You have people that will go to the ends of the earth for you. I mean, you did one story for 10 seconds of like, I need to get on media. And I had literally like everybody kept texting me like, Rachel, who do you know? I was like, I've got it. She's texting me. We're on. Like, I'm figuring it out. We're getting it worked out. But like you have people who literally support you so much because you took the time to connect with them, to make human connections. You don't just live in the DMs for people. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And like for people who do want you, like you've made yourself available to me. We've got like, I text you now all the time because it's like, you allow yourself to create those human connections where I think a lot of people just think, oh, I'm going to have an event and people are just going to come. I'm going to build it and they will come. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
It just doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not if you want a sold out event.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Explain to me the importance of human connection while growing a community.
Human connection is so important because I feel like I have a lot of friends who are in the community industry and they are fantastic human beings. And I've all noticed one thing that we all have in common that makes our community successful, and it is the human connection. Because there's lots of communities who want to be the spotlight and it's the Demiree show and I made this, which in reality, yeah, we curate this community, but I think it's a community.
Right.
You're leading this community, but the intention isn't to be everybody only loving me and wanting to be a part because I'm the person leading it. While we do have people like you as super fans, which is just so like weird to hear.
It's so cute.
But it's just like your job as a community leader is to connect people, not only with you and for you to feel seen, because at that point, if that's what you want, then you're an influencer.
Yeah,
you're not a community.
You're not a community leader.
And
it's a totally different thing.
That's different. Like an influencer is people connecting with you and your content. In the comments, your people are not going to get along. They connect with you.
Right.
Community is, yeah, they'll connect with me. And I am curating this room full of people that I think are going to get along, have similarities or complete differences and see that there's similarities and creating those opportunities for them to connect to not only because of me, but watching what can happen when they are open to the idea of connecting with other people.
Well, and that's why you have the super fans, is because you've created a space that's safe for everybody. You've laid the groundwork. You also have an app. You have a community online as well. So like the live event is really the culmination of everything that you do all year with everybody.
Yeah.
And so when you have that vibe of like, oh, we're all here to support each other, you naturally start to meet people and you naturally get attracted to other people. So like maybe you're the impetus and the reason why we're all there to support you and the vision. But really, once you're there, it's a totally different feeling where it's like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yep.
Because I'm somebody who I launched a paid community. We're starting it. Our whole thing is human connection. I want people to understand that like, you've grown every year, but again, because you have the app, because you nurture those relationships every year, that's why you get the response that you're getting. I want people to understand the work that you put into that. Can you explain the app and why you even started the virtual online community?
Yeah, so we launched our membership 2 years ago. We're going to go on 3 years now. Yeah, so about a little over 2 years. what I was noticing is I had this once a year event that everyone was looking forward to. And then while our keynotes would leave amazing messages and the people that I have be a part of this, I don't want just a rah-rah. I don't want someone on stage to tell you like, you're a bad bitch, own it. And then get off the stage and you're like, yeah. And you get home and you're like, now what? Like, I don't know what to do. Like, now I got 364 days to figure it out. Right. And so for the most part, I try to have that with my keynote, but it might not hit for everybody, right? There might be those people, even from this year, that go home and they're like, now what? Mm-hmm. I learned that people are like, oh, I don't want it to be next year. Is it April yet? Like, what can I do? And I constantly had people in my messages about like, how did you build your business? How did you start your podcast? Like, all of these questions. And while I love helping people, it does not pay your bills. No. Unfortunately, like we have to have the uncomfortable conversation. Yep. Like, I want to help you. I don't want to profit off of you, but like, I can't continue doing the things that make you happy and want you to learn if your I'm not time is valuable. Paid for it. Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, I'm going to create a one-stop shop that people can come to and connect with the people they met at the conference, or maybe they didn't come to the conference, they found us 6 months later. They want that like connection because it is not just Michigan's largest women empowerment conference. Our conference is in Michigan, but our app and our community is people national. People fly in. We had people all over. We all had people, over the country. One of our keynotes was from Vegas. One of them was from New York. We had people come in from Georgia. Like I can name all kinds of places. But the idea is that this community is national, hopefully globally one day, and connecting people. So it's important to have so many people involved in this, but then the work that goes into it is you can't just have an event and just be like, all right, it's done. See you next year. Like it doesn't happen that way.
No, you have to keep the momentum.
You have to curate it and nurture the relationships and follow up with people. Like, for example, we had a girl that put something on Instagram like 2 weeks before the event about how terrified she was to come alone. This is her first event that she was coming. Her name is Sam. And she's like, I'm terrified. I'm an extreme introvert and I have raging social anxiety. I'm terrified, but I'm putting myself out there. I shared her stuff to our stuff. I made, to our stories. I made a post about this is what it's about. She went in. You would have thought that she has been to EmpowHer 600 times. Because everybody She was walking around with a posse. I was like, oh my God, you guys know each other? Like, no, we connected on Instagram after we posted that. I'm like, this is what I mean. Nurturing those relationships so people, when they get here, you're not hyping this whole thing up and then people are getting here and be like, this actually sucked. Like this was nothing like it was advertised. And I pride myself on, I want this to be a comfortable place, and the talk that I do in the social media is the exact same in person. And I think that that's really important because I've been to a lot of events where the hype is real and you get there and you're like, I need to
You did a
leave
great
immediately.
Job marketing it.
I need to leave
that's
immediately.
Where it ended.
Yeah.
The good thing about your community is that they also show up for you in the app, right? It's very hard to get people off of social media. When I was creating one, I used Circle app, you use Kajabi. There's many different platforms people can use. So if you do want to create a community online, there's many different options. But everybody kept saying, like, you're never going to be able to get people off of social media. You're never going to be able to get people off of social media. I'm like, I have to curate that relationship with them. And I have to have that human connection with them where I have enough things within the community that they see the value in not being on social and coming to here first and seeing what they missed yesterday. Or like we have a morning show now that we do every morning to like get people started. It's like, what did you miss? I want to curate people that want to be there. And you've managed to do that. I mean, number one, you're a dynamic personality. You're beautiful, right? Like, and you give of yourself. There's no like, hey, talk to my assistant. We'll see if we can book some time. You make yourself available for people. And I think that's why you get the fervor that you get within the community of people posting and showing up consistently. Did you, when you started that online community, was it scary? Were you like, who the hell's going to show up virtually now? What were the things that went through your head? And what finally where you're at now? Like, what have you learned? You can teach me.
Right. It was scary. It's scary for anybody. Like, you have these ideas that I'm going to launch this community and 1,000 people are going to show up, or 10. Right. 10 people are going to show up. It's going to be amazing. And your mom signs up and that's it. You're like, oh, shut up, mom. My lives. It's the same for everybody. So people see these huge communities that I even admire. And I'm like, oh, they have 3,000 people. I'm like, they've been doing this for 22 years.
That's what I want people to understand.
Like it's not
years.
If you are looking for an overnight success with community, you are in the wrong business, unfortunately. You need to be able to be okay with it taking time and curating things. That is not an overnight situation. I mean, I hope that for everybody. And when you do,
think certain niches will take off immediately.
Yeah. But it's just
to a certain degree.
It's
but
scary.
Like, I just want anyone doing this to know, like, it is, you have to be committed to it. There is no return on investment immediately in any way. You are using your savings account, right, to go into what you're doing. And yeah, you are the graphic designer, you're the teacher, you're the editor, you're the everything in the beginning. So yes, like I think I'm coming off of 20-hour work days, like getting this thing launched and being there for people and giving them what they need. So it's, I don't want people to be like, oh, I'm just going to do that. It's not like that.
No.
We work our fucking asses off, and you've been doing it for longer. What have you learned now that you can teach me after doing it for so long? Or is it really just, it's the slow burn that it is? It
is a slow burn, but I think that what has helped me, because like our community, we've been doing this, like I said, almost for 3 years. It's just now gaining the traction online. Like everything that I was going to, and when I say online, in our community, like everyone, like you're not Instagram, you're not Facebook,
you're completely off of it.
You're expecting people to check in on this app that they're just finding out about and being active in it. So there's got to be incentives. There's got to be things that they have extreme FOMO about. You're giving packed value in there for them to be like, I want to do this. Like, I want to check in on this. So I think for me, to be completely honest, and I'll just say it out loud for myself, is consistency. Because I think a lot of people be like, it's just like a New Year's resolution. Like, I'm going to sign up for the gym and I'm going to go every day. And then come like week 4, you're like, what's a gym? Like, I don't know what that is.
I'm not even kidding.
You know what I'm saying?
I call it my fat tax.
Oh, literally Planet Fitness. I think it texted me on my way here. It's like, we haven't seen you in a while. I'm like, you haven't seen me at all.
Exactly.
I haven't been there once.
That's so funny. And my son turned 13. Now he's 14. Like, that's how long it's been. So I upgraded so I can bring like a guest. It's like, we're going to go every day. I love this. I'm going to bring my son. It's going to be amazing. We went once.
I'm going so often that I need a VIP with like to bring all my friends.
So I just pay my fat tax now. I'm like, okay.
But it's like that with your community. Like, you start off strong. Like, we got this. And then there's going to be people that don't show up. And that's going to get disappointing, and I don't know, you're just gonna kind of like, oh, okay, well, no, and then you kind of like go in the shell. No, you need to show up as if there's 100,000 people watching.
That's what I do.
Because guess what? When people do join and they come in and there's nothing, and you're ghost town city, they're gonna be like, what the fuck am I here for? But if they're coming and they're like, damn, there's this whole video hub.
All these things.
To their knowledge, there was 400 people on that call. They don't know. And so you need to give them the knowledge that you're promising them. And why are you creating this community? Staying consistent with it, posting, treating it like it's your Instagram. This is your business. Treat it like the most important thing. So I have personally done that. We're like, we have journal prompts every single day that we give the girls, and they're not just like, how do you feel today? It's like, what childhood trauma do you think is stopping you from moving forward to the next step of your life?
Shit, that's deep.
And so like, we have real questions. They don't have to post it publicly. They just have to hold themselves accountable. We have the trust process. And if they complete it, they get to enter to win a gift card to their favorite coffee. So I wasn't doing the journal prompts. I wasn't even doing my own challenges. I'm like checking in when someone does an intro and I'm like, oh, hi, cutie, glad you're here. I'm like, that's not enough, Demiree. It's not. Because if I want to be treating like this is the newest fucking social media of craze, like I better be Mark Zuckerberg on here, like acting like this is the coolest thing that they've ever been a part of. So being consistent and acting as though this is the only place that people can access you and your community.
Correct. That's what I said to my partner. I was like, I'm going to probably start pulling off a couple of things on social media. I'll still show up a little bit because we have to sell it. We're in the selling stage anyway. I have to. But this is the only way you can access me. I'm having the hardest time making that connection with people that want to, like, they still want me to consult. They still want me to do all these things. And I'm like, I'm having the hardest time being like, great, I'm over here. This is how much it is per month. And you get me one-on-one and you can ask as many questions as you want. And because there's not a ton of people in it now, you get me 24 hours a day if you need me. But I'm having the hardest time being confident just saying that. And I don't know why. It's the weirdest thing right now. Because I love what we're doing. I love it. And I show up every day and I'm just like, we're literally curating courses and challenges to what people call us with what they want. I'm not just throwing a course out there because I think this is what you need to like grow your business. You tell me what you need and then we literally build it around that. Why can't I just Why is it so hard for me to just say
I think it's hard because
we
we want to people please everybody, and we also want everyone to feel like we see them and we value them, and we're so afraid to attach our worth with like, you should pay me for my time. And we want to help people, and we want them to not feel like, oh, they're just trying to make money off me. It's like, yeah, this is my job. I am not a surgeon that makes $400,000 a year and I do this as a hobby. This is my job. This is my $400,000, hopefully a year thing that I have going for me. I can't get to there if you're not willing to pay the price. You clearly see value. You're coming to me to ask me for my advice. Unfortunately for you, there is a price for that. Just like you don't go to a restaurant and be like, I'm hungry. Hopefully someone's just going to hand me food. I mean, maybe there are those restaurants and that's great. But like for the most part, you pay for the fucking sandwich because you're hungry and you don't complain about it. Like it's not baffling that you want to spend money on something that you came here for. So I think I have a hard time with that too.
Because I see the value of what you get. Like your community, it's amazing what you give. I feel the same way about mine. And I've always had this weird gap with marketing. And somebody finally told me like, listen, if you have something that can help somebody, fucking shout it from the rooftops.
Yeah.
But so I'm like tiptoeing into that.
Yeah.
And I still have this weird, like, I can't shout it from the rooftops yet. I don't know why.
I can't even act like I don't do that. I didn't even pitch my membership at EmpowHer this year.
I know you had Amanda do it.
I had Amanda do it because I was so uncomfortable. So I can't sit here and be like, you just gotta own it, Rachel. Like I'm over here
tell everybody
with a $100,000 event, and I couldn't even get on stage for 30 seconds and tell people, hey, get a free month, join,
which is incredible.
Which is
I was
wild.
Like, oh my god, take her up on that.
My keynote Ati, who does something very similar to me, we have the same brand colors. She is the Argentinian Vegas Demiree. We are best friends. We are exactly copy and paste situations. Hers is more about branding. But when I went up to Amanda and I just said, hey, she goes, you didn't say anything about your membership. There's something in here for free membership. Like you have 400 people in front of you. Why are you not doing this? And Ati's like, if you don't get on that stage and say something, I'll cut your legs off. And I was like, well, I guess I will be in a wheelchair because I am not saying anything. She goes, you are so dumb. She's like, you are so dumb. And then I remember somebody a while back saying something to me, but as soon as she said that you are so dumb, both of these came in. She's like, it is such a disservice for you to not provide the value that you want to give your people. And we feel like that's us saying like we're full of ourselves. Like it's a disservice for me to not tell you all my stuff, but it is.
Yes. I'm not trying to upsell you. I'm telling you, if you loved this vibe, we can do this every day.
Yeah.
I don't know why we're so uncomfortable with that space. It's so weird because again, if I'm perceived as upselling you, that's a you problem, not a me problem. Yeah. If you're perceived as, oh my God, she genuinely wants to help me and has created a community to do that, fuck yes, you get it.
And those people are in your community. And I think what's helped me is I think it was hard for me when I first started my community. I had no results. I had nobody that was
you've never done it before.
Yeah, never done it. Like, and I didn't have anybody in my community taking the things that I was giving them and being like, wow, this really helped me. I didn't have testimonials. So now that I have hundreds of women that are like been in since day one, like they're locked in at the OG price when I was charging $15 a month. Yeah. $15 a month to be a part of they're locked in because they're like, I had a gold mine.
Right.
And they're like, this is the greatest thing and they're showing me like the connections they made. They got on Fox, they've made business partnerships. Now it helps me in my confidence a little bit more. So for people that are starting off with the community, I think it can be a little like,
it's hard. I have no testimonials yet. I can't tell you what it is.
Yeah, it's so amazing. Everyone's having a great time and they're like, who? And you're like, me and all my personalities. Like it's hard.
Me and everybody up here.
It's believing in yourself and getting, even if they're close friends of yours, to do it and letting them in and just try it out and get like their feedback for it and using that because even though it was you handing it to them, you might have given it to them for free for a month for them to check out. It's still a testimonial and you can feel a little bit better about yourself versus making up this fake scenario that didn't happen, which lots of my friends do in their communities. They're like, oh my God, Georgina made $600,000 in sales. They're like, oh, can I talk to Georgina? And they're like, she's not real. Like,
please, like, I need people to understand that not everything you see is real.
Yes.
That it's a marketing ploy. People believe the story you're telling them. And so if you're saying all these things, it is literally marketing. What you did is you told the truth. You made the human connections as the marketing. And then you actually followed through with the live events. Not everybody does that.
Yeah.
Like they put all their money into marketing and not the event, and people come to the event and they're never going to come back. You're not going to have repeat people. You're gonna have people that just leave early because they're like, this is not at all what you like sold it as.
Yeah.
You have to actually deliver. You deliver and you over deliver every time.
Yep.
And I think that's something that people need to learn. If you're gonna do this, like fucking do it.
Yeah. Don't
just bait and switch people.
Yeah.
When you talked about like having nobody in the community in the beginning, that's like where we're at. We don't have a ton of people, but I'm happy because I can curate it the way that we need to and get their feedback. But I'll do co-creating sessions where nobody shows up. So I'll go on a live basically for an hour. We do Pomodoro sessions. We focus on like one thing for the hour. And it's just me talking to nobody. Mm-hmm. But I'm practicing. I even said this in the last one, which is hilarious. I'm like, nobody's here, but I have to practice doing this. Yeah. And showing up and focusing on one thing, because I'm just getting work done while I'm doing it anyway.
Exactly.
So
you're just holding yourself accountable.
Exactly.
This is what you could be doing, and I'm doing the things that I'm trying to help you do too.
And that was like, nobody joining didn't suck, because I was like, great, I need the time anyway, so I'm going to use the time and I'll practice like the 5-minute conversations that we have, and then we do the 25-minute Pomodoro sessions, and amazing, I know how to do this now. And so I want people to understand showing up consistently for yourself first. There's something beautiful about creating in the dark. I mean, you have thousands of followers now, and you've grown tremendously, and it's beautiful because I love what you're giving to people and they give back. I've been stuck in this weird space of not showing people really like the behind the scenes of what I'm doing, which I think is why I don't grow. I also feel like I haven't niched down, right? Like you niched down, you figured it out. I'm offering all the things, right? And so I'm in this odd space of like figuring out like, what do I really want to do? How do I want to show up for people? And how do I want to be of service? And I love that you figured that out, because it literally, I think once you get to that space, magic happens. Yeah. Because people, like the universe knows who to bring to you all of a sudden.
Okay, I have 2 things. I'm like excited.
Let's do it. Oh my God.
The first thing, the second part is the broken disco ball. So remind me when I go, I don't know what I was going to say. Broken disco ball is the second part. The first thing is, when I first started my community, we had these things called co-working sessions. And the intention was very similar. I'm on, and for an hour, we're holding ourselves accountable. If you need help jumping on.
Yeah, tell me.
I think to this year, it had only been me on there. I would show up, I'd be there for an hour. I was like, okay, this is pointless. I'd stand for about 20 minutes, and then I'd be like, okay, this was really dumb. Like I'd turn off my camera and if someone jumped on, but then it was awkward for that one person that jumped on. Like, oh, I thought this was going to be like 30 people. Right. So it was like a mix of embarrassment. So then I think that also makes us want to go into a shell, because like, oh my God, with this co-working, and it's supposed to, because like that's the vision for it. Yeah. But it's not always going to turn out like that. But those things helped me pivot my community into something. How you're doing things with your community right now may not be how you're doing a lot of things in a year from now.
No, you don't know until you try.
In a month. Right. You might be like, that's actually not worth it, but what is worth it is doing this instead. Yes. And so what I did was, we still have co-working, but instead of co-working where it is a group call, I have 2 days a month that are our co-working that I essentially used to do, where it was open to everybody to join on a group call. Now it is a one-on-one time slot with me for 15 minutes. You have from 9 in the morning till 9 o'clock at night.
That's your calendar breakout that you did. That is what we,
but that used to be a group thing. At 11 o'clock in the morning, we're going to jump on here and go for an hour. And if you want, no one was coming on. I'm like, okay, well, these people need this co-working. And then I asked them,
they all say they want it.
Why does this not work for you? They're like, it doesn't work with my schedule. I can't do the 11 o'clock. I'm on another call, or I have kids. So I'm like, how can I utilize this? And what are people needing right now? What can I transition this to? So showing up doesn't mean like it's not successful. It just helps you niche down into what works better for your community, because what works for other people's communities, because that's what I was doing. I was like, okay, my friend's community has this, 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 and this. I need a coaching call once a month. I need this and this and this, and it's gonna be great. That works for her community because it's for her. What works for me? I feel so much better when I'm helping people one-on-one. So I changed it from a group call for 1 hour, 2 times a month, to 2 days a month, all day. I don't have anything on my schedule. I stay at home and I take 15-minute slots. You can do an hour, whatever works for you. And my girls sign up. That is my biggest selling point for my community now. So something that nobody was showing up to is the number one selling point that I have. I go, you want one-on-one mentorship with me? It's included in your membership. You get from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. to choose your days 2 times a month. You can come on both days. We can talk about anything. I'll start your podcast. You want to talk about what a piece of shit your husband is? Fine, I'm here for that. You want to talk about how me to audit your social media? Whatever you think I can mentor you on, you have 15 minutes for me to talk to you. My day is packed.
Wow.
And I don't have a slot open versus showing up for an hour and talking to myself for an hour. So it's not that it's not successful and, oh my God, my community is a failure. It's like, no, what does your community need?
What do they need?
And how can you transition to what you're doing that no one's showing up for and making it more unique?
But like also understanding like the community has said we want the co-creating co-working sessions.
Exactly.
But we didn't go deeper into like, but does the time work?
Yes.
Does the like group mentality work?
Yeah, maybe try changing the time. So this month you do 10 o'clock in the morning. Next month you do 3 p.m. The month after that you do 9 o'clock at night. And unfortunately, that's the price you have to pay to kind of see. It's just like people with advertising. Right. They did a morning commercial. No one saw it because their demographics watching at 6 o'clock at night when they're home from work.
But I love that. I love that pivot. I also love giving myself permission to pivot. I think a lot of times we get so stuck into like, oh, but I do it this way.
Yeah.
But like, why do you do it this way?
Yeah. It's not working, so I just need to keep doing it till it does. It's like, no, it's not working for a reason. You're not making money on your business after 10 years. There's probably a reason why. What's not working? The second part that I want to tell you is the broken disco ball. So when I got on stage this year, I told the story. I didn't do a keynote or anything crazy. And this is the behind the scenes part that you're talking about is like my logo for my business is a disco ball. And obviously, because it's just fun and shiny and it's a good time. I thought this was a disco ball as I was talking about it. But,
it is fun and shiny.
It's a disco ball right now to me. But I dropped a disco ball on my way to the event and I was like, oh my God, no, this disco ball's gonna be shattered. And when I picked it up, who knew disco balls could be like so deep and metaphoric? But I picked it up and it was more shattered. But what I realized is there was like more light that was hitting it. And it like brought this awareness to me that like, I think my community is so successful and a lot of communities are successful because not only behind the scenes, but like, I am very vulnerable and authentic about what is and what is not working. I will make a fool out of myself. I'll say like, yeah, Betty Girl called today. And guess how many people went on? I'll have like a poll and it'll be like 400, 25, 16, 74. And the next story will be like, you're all wrong. Actually, not one person showed up. And like being okay with not humiliating myself, but like
just
showing
being honest,
the realness
like,
of it. Like
sometimes shit happens. Sometimes nobody shows up and that's okay.
Yeah. So I think like showing those cracks, we're so afraid of showing our flaws. But just like I was talking to you earlier about when we did that experience where the women held their hands. After that experience, it was like everybody had been at a camp for 6 months together. Like everyone's like, oh, that's just Rachel over there. Like we're best friends. We're like, we just met 5 minutes ago. So showing those cracks and the behind the scenes and the realness only allows your audience in your community to feel more connected to you instead of feeling like you're this unapproachable, unreachable person or figure, really. You're not even a person. You're like this, oh my God, it's Demiree. I'm like, I want people to walk up to me like, I have the biggest crush on Adam Sandler. I'm like obsessed with him. My husband's Jewish. I think I like manifested that, like whatever. Like, yes. I think I like him so much, obviously, because I think he's just like the most handsome man besides my husband in the world. But like, he's just such an approachable, normal human being. And anytime, even if his music or movies are like sometimes trash, I'm like, it's the best movie in the world. You couldn't tell me anything wrong.
It doesn't matter.
But it's just the fact that you feel connected to him.
Right.
You feel
it's also relatable.
Yeah.
And that was the whole purpose of what I was aiming for when I even started showing up on social media again. But I think I got so into my head about it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
100%.
Like this morning, I will tell you literally this morning, getting ready, everything's amazing, our toilet backed up. So I'm literally like plunging shit, screaming for my husband. Like, what am I doing? It's pouring all over. And I'm just like, of course this is how my day fucking started. And like, I wanted to post about it, but it was like, I just wasn't in that space of like sharing. But I was like, I probably get more hits on that fucking video than I have in anything that I've ever posted ever.
Right.
Because I'm showing you the real shit behind my fucking life. Right. Literally, like, this is what happens before you fucking book studio time and have somebody beautiful come in to interview. It's like you're fucking plunging shit.
But like, those are great moments, but then also understanding like you don't need to show everything, single thing and like beat yourself up over like, oh my God, this would have made such perfect content. Like this would have been so relatable. Right. Like just understanding like live in the moment. Right. And
I was in that moment like, nah, I'm gonna put out the phone.
Right.
I was like,
two of my friends
flooding my floor.
Yeah. You're like, this is the real deal.
Yeah.
Two of my friends, Kat Golden and Shelby Dubin, they do a group called the Social Rebel Experience. And I've taken a couple of their courses and they're just amazing human beings. Every time I've taken their course, I get so re-amped over them, but they always say something. They're like, don't create, just document.
Yeah, that's what I tell everybody.
You don't need to create anything.
Post what you live, stop living to post.
Make up
is what
stuff
I say
like,
to my
okay, today I need to do this. It's like, no, I'm going to go on a walk with my dog and I'm going to post, like I posted a story the other day that was so funny to me. And I was like, everyone's going to think this is like hilarious. And like, no one thought it was funny. And then the next day I'm like, okay, this is great. I'm on a walk with my dog. And I posted a video that was like, does anybody else get like secondhand embarrassment when their dog poops in public? And
my
like
God,
you're picking
every
it
time.
up. Like you cannot believe
I'm dying.
Your dog poops. You're like, you just walk, anytime you walk by somebody and they're like picking
I'm
it up.
It. Don't worry.
Yeah,
it's all good.
It's just, but like everyone relates to that.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm not in my head like, okay, well now I need to go on a walk and I need Sandler to poop so that I can post this.
Well, that's why I love stories. Stories really is the behind the scenes and I need to just start utilizing. I tell everybody what to do, except I don't do it myself. And it's just the most frustrating thing of like, I really need to like do a journal prompt, I think, of like why I feel so scared to be authentic again. I was authentic on the radio. I would like literally told everybody every fucking horrifying thing. And for some reason now that I'm in this space where I'm not an employee for someone else's brand, I am the brand, that I'm just like, wait.
Because it's scary to be vulnerable and have people not accept that because like I said,
But then they're not my people.
Exactly. You know what a good person you are. You know your heart. You know your intentions. And we have this like guard on us. Like we want everyone to love that about us because it's just who we are. And unfortunately, what I've came to learn is like not everyone's going to have that mentality. Like how you do things are completely different than how I do things. But I like love you as a person because I'm like, oh, that's just so Rachel. Like that's so awesome. It doesn't mean that I'm going to do it that way, but I can have the mental capacity and emotional intelligence to understand how you're doing things isn't how I'm going to do things. And that's okay. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people who don't have the emotional and mental capacity to understand that. And we let those people get to us. And those are the people that stop us from being authentic and wanting to post because we have this hard time with not wanting people or having people not accepting us.
The judgment, right? Like who I am right now is not who I am at home most of the time. Well, because of also ADHD and like just executive dysfunction and like the house being a mess. Like all four of us have ADHD, like my two kids and my husband and myself. And so it's like to even pull out the phone and be like, okay, this is what I'm doing today. I'm like, fuck, everyone's going to literally see the 10,000 Amazon boxes not broken down. And like my kids leave cereal. But it's like, but when I talked to the therapist for my kids, because we got them diagnosed with ADHD, the therapist, like when I was going through this with them, she's like, Rachel, like most people live this way. You have to understand. 100%.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like you're saying this and I'm thinking in my head right now, like, oh my God, my son left his disposable paper bowl because he refused to do dishes on the counter. My dog's probably drinking it as we speak. There's milk all over. Like I relate to that. There's also something that it helped me. I went to a conference one time and this man told me something. He goes, they were on a panel and there was this woman named Harley and she goes, yeah, you know, when I was younger, my mom was my principal and my whole elementary experience was kind of ruined because I just wanted to impress my mom so often. You know, like I lived my entire, and it really trickled into my middle school and high school experience, even though she wasn't my principal. And we're all sitting in a crowd, like nodding our heads. And then Matt next to her was like, how many of you have had their parent as their principal? Not one person raised their hand. He goes, how many of you have felt though that you have disappointed your parents in some way? And we all raised our hand. He goes, so just because you don't have a principal as your parent doesn't mean you couldn't relate to Harley's story. Right. He's like, it's like the Lion King movie. There's a lion whose best friend is a warthog and a meerkat, and his dad gets pushed off a ledge, and his uncle's this evil person who's trying to kill him. None of us have that. Right. However, when we watch the movie, we relate it to being imposter syndrome and not living up to expectations of somebody. That's really what the metaphor for the movie is. Right. So when you look at those situations of like, oh my God, I have Amazon boxes and all these things surrounding me, like no one's going to relate to it. Even if it's not an Amazon box, I related it to that empty bowl of cereal that I'm like, oh my God, I relate to this so much. I'm just glad you're a normal human being. Because,
well, I love that you have paper bowls too, because I literally told my kids, I'm like, I'm not the dishwasher.
No.
And I'm at that point too, and I don't know how you are with the business and being a business owner. It's like if it doesn't move the needle in the business and it's a repetitive task like laundry, cleaning, and dishes, I'm not going to do it. But I'm also at the point where I have to start outsourcing it because like the husband's working 7 days a week. The kids could care less. They're teenagers, but like I don't want the mental load of forcing them to do chores. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I'm going to have to figure out a way to start outsourcing this stuff and have people help me do the thing. I started with getting somebody over my house once a month. We pick a room. She's a professional organizer. That has helped me tremendously. I think I just need somebody every week now. It's because I know if like somebody's coming and help me clean, like I will pre-clean and it like force me to do something. I just have to know myself. And I think that's the other thing is sometimes we live in like what the masked version of myself I thought I visualized. And it's like, no, I can still be a like creative mom with ADHD and have a messy house, but also like can like be a badass fucking podcast interviewer and be successful.
Yeah.
It doesn't make me not successful. It just means that I have to come up with systems that work better. And I haven't created those in my personal life because I'm so focused on doing it professionally. And that's okay too.
Think about like the content you consume. Like when I'm on TikTok, like, am I watching the perfectly put together human beings? Like, it's like, oh man, I'm jealous. But then I'm like scroll because I feel like shit about myself.
Exactly.
But then I'm like, staying on the content of the mom who's like, anyone have a fucking day? And she's like pouring a whole bottle of wine. I'm like, I'm here. I found my For You page. This is where I need to be. I'm relating to people because I'm feeling seen. I'm feeling normalized. I'm feeling like, okay, this is exactly who I feel like I'm as a person. And that's the content that I'm going to relate to. There's been times where I go back to influencer people that I really connect to. And I'm showing my friends because I think it'll relate to them. And that's why those people are successful because they're just showing who they are as a person. And they're deeply connecting to that kind of person. There's going to be moms who are like, oh, I could never use paper plates. I could never and there's nothing wrong with those people. They can live their best life and have their house made. I don't have that luxury right now. But like, that's great for you. This was work for me. And I have a whole community of people who also feel this way. Or I have some people who do have the housemaids and do the dishes and still relate to some of the other things that I do. There's going to be people that don't relate to my content. And that is okay. I spent so much of my time in my community trying to want everybody with me. And instead I'm like, I would rather have 50 people that truly get it and also doesn't make my time fucking exhausting and feel like I hate this job.
Well, that's the thing. When you're faking it, it is hard. It's so hard. But then when you could just be like, listen, this is the reality that I live in. And like, here's a 15-second story of that reality. And then I move on with my life. I post it and not worry about it. It's just so much easier. Yeah.
I could have 100 people sign up for my membership today and make me so happy. Because let's be real, people in a membership is money. And that makes us money. And that's a great thing. But maybe 10 of those people are truly going to take the value of what this community is and put themselves out there and do the courses or connect with people or do whatever that looks like for them to be a success. And the other 90 are going to fall off. And I used to hyper fixate on the 90 that fell off. I had a bad experience with an event not too long ago, and I was focused on the one person that had a bad experience, and not even a bad experience, just like had something negative to say. And I didn't look at the other 74 people who were like, this was the best thing that's ever happened to us. I took so much time and effort and energy looking at the negative than versus like, I just need to realize like, okay, this wasn't for them. I'm not their people. And instead of trying to convince them of my worth and what my community offers for them, I'm going to focus on the people who are here because those people are my people and they're going to recommend me to people who are also going to relate, and that's going to build the community. So as soon as I started flipping the script of, oh my God, why did these 90 people leave? Or why did this one vendor have a bad time? Or why did this person versus the other people that were, and spending my time on the people who took advantage and love what I'm putting out there, it changed everything. Because I was putting so much energy in people that I was like chasing after that we're never going to be a part of it in the first place. And now I'm kind of like distancing myself from the people who need this because they appreciate it. So when you're appreciating the people who are part of your community and who are relating to your content, that's how your community grows.
We're going to just end it there because that was like mic fucking drop. It's like you can't get any better than that. That's incredible. I fucking love you.
I love you too.
I love you so much. For people that are interested, that want to get involved in EmpowHer, how do they find you and how do they join the community?
Yeah, so we're just EmpowHer. So again, not EmpowHer, EmpowHer on Instagram. Or our website is empow-her.org. And all of our stuff is on our website. And our membership, future events, how to get in contact, all the things.
You're amazing. I just want to thank you for literally making yourself, number one, an open book, available, and like, answering all the questions,
Of
right? Like
course,
I love collaboration over competition. And I think that you live that every day. And I'm so appreciative of you. And I'm so like happy that we connected and that we are in each other's lives.
I'm appreciative too. And I will look deeply into your eyes and hold your hand any day.
We'll try to do it right now. Fuck, I love you. Oh my God. All right, everybody. I always like, we're talking to everybody. Yeah. No one watches the podcast. Thank you so much. All 350 of you, but we're going to focus on the 350 of you that do. So thank you for watching. Oh. All the links will be below. Yay.